In the small town province of Quang Nam, Vietnam, a bereaved husband living with his dead wife for many years, despite the pressure from authorities to bury her. Back in 2003, the father of 7, Lee Van, can't stand the fact that his wife is dead. He slept on top of her grave, but after a year, he's fed up by the rain and cold wind, so he decided to dig a tunnel into her grave to sleep with his dead wife. When his terrified children found out, they prevented him from going to the grave. So one night in 2004, for once and for all, he dug up his wife's remains and took them home. The man, who seems to be out of his mind, molded papers and clay around the remains to give the resemblance of his dead wife. The man acted like his wife is still alive. He cleaned and dressed her, even sleeping beside her ever since. He became over-defensive when anyone tried to question him. His neighbors did not dare to come close to his house anymore. And because he's living in a small town where everyone knows someone's business, he became viral in 2009. His story was broadcast nationwide, and even people from around the world talking about the creepy old man living with his dead wife. Lee Van was told by local authorities to bury the corpse. The police insisted that the remains can pollute the environment, but in Vietnam, there are no laws banning him from keeping his dead wife. He refused to comply. Years have passed. A news media outlet published an article about the old man and the creepy life-size doll still inside his house. It was a promise neither man would have wanted to keep. In 2009, the funeral of a Black Watch soldier who was killed in Afghanistan took a bizarre turn when his best friend arrived in a bright green dress and a pink knee-high socks. Barry Delaney never paused to consider what others might think. He and his best pal, Kevin Elliott, had made a pact, and that was all that mattered. The two best friends had agreed that whoever survived, the other should wear a dress to the dead man's funeral. It was a year ago, while the two were watching TV and began hypothesizing about their funeral. They both laughed at the suggestion of wearing women's clothes and choke on it. The airy joke would be realized sooner than either could have expected. Private Elliot killed in a war field. He was killed in a Taliban ambush in Afghanistan. He was just 24 when he died on August 31, 2009. Myra Alonso was so desperate to know what it feels like to die, she rented a coffin and organized her own funeral. In April 2021, Myra organized a rehearsal of her wake in the city of Santiago in the Dominican Republic. The bizarre event shows the woman in a white dress where she lies in the coffin for hours. In order to make her look so dead, she stuffed cotton wool into her nostrils, touched up with her long blonde hair and a mortuary makeup. At some point, Myra suggested the attendees to cry. Her friends and family then took turns to say their teary final goodbyes, with some doing a better job of fake crying than others. She described the event as a dream come true and thanked her friends and family and neighbors who helped to organize the fake funeral. According to Dominican news media, Myra was eager to know what it feels like being dead due to the number of deaths during the pandemic that inspired her to celebrate her life. She warned her loved ones not to die anytime soon, as being inside the coffin was a very unpleasant experience. A Thai woman decided to fulfill her dream of marrying her sweetheart despite his death in a bizarre marriage. The woman, whose name Nan Tifarat from Changchun South Province, wed her fiancé Fiat after he died of a heart attack. She posted pictures of the bizarre ceremony on her Facebook. The pose of the living bride and the dead groom had been widely shared online. Many of her guests and the people on the internet drive into tears. Her fiancé's death came as a shock to loved ones, as he had shown no visible signs of illness before succumbing to a sudden heart attack. Although their marriage was not recognized under the law in Thailand, Nan said it was her way of paying tribute to him because one day they will be together for eternity in the next life. Anoheyuman had been buried according to his dying wish. The bizarre arrangement required 5 embalmers, an extra-large cemetery plot, and a crane to place him in the ground. Dressed in his leathers and sunglasses and sitting on top of his 1967 electric light cruiser, Billy Stanley was taken for one last ride. The 82-year-old, who died of a lung cancer, didn't just want to ride up to heaven. He wanted the world to see him do it in a big see-through box. He prepared his own funeral himself, buying 3 large burial plots next to his wife, Lorna, so the hall would be big enough to accommodate his unique caskets. His sons Pete and Roy designed the casket out of a plexiglass. The family man was pleased with his funeral plans and would show off the casket, which was stored for 5 years in a garage to visitors. Mr. Stanley, who used to work as a bareback rodeo rider, was escorted by a procession of bikers. Some of the mourners at his graveside donned motorcycle jackets for the occasion as they watched the extra-large coffin be lowered into its massive plot.